First, subscribe my channel. If South Africa truly would like to travel through this 2023 World Cup inconspicuous, they should show improvement over this, since in cleaning the floor with Australia in Lucknow, winning by a mammoth 134 runs for their second triumph in as many games, they have put out quite an explanation that is difficult to disregard. As could be, Quinton de Kock made the most commotion, crashing 109 up top as South Africa set up 311 for 7, having been approached to bat first. Australia's choice at the throw, and the moves to build up their batting with Josh Inglis and Marcus Stoinis drafted in for Alex Carey and Cameron Green, failed miserably. An absence of catalyst with the ball and mistakes in the field spilled into their pursuit, long gone as soon as the 18th over at 70 for 6. 2 straight losses mean they can manage the cost of no place for blunder in the leftover 7 rounds of the association stage. It's not news that this competition will be de Kock's last appearances in the ODI design, yet it merits recollecting on evenings like these. The 30-year-old is leaving the scene at the pinnacle of his powers following a fresh 100 in the initial triumph against Sri Lanka, with this tasteful 91 ball H hiked to 3 figures. The 13 limits, 5 of them 6s, were fresh as you'd like, against the absolute most achieved white ball bowlers on the circuit. 100 number 19 was as much a sign of the supply of a cutting-edge restricted overs incredible as an insight worth heeding that South Africa are gunning for their most memorable world title. As poor as they were, Australia have cause to mourn 2 rulings against them. Stephen Smith was given out L-double as an on-field choice was toppled on DRS, notwithstanding the unaided eye proposing the ball was on its far beyond leg stump. Of far more prominent uncertainty was the choice to send Marcus Stoinis on his way for a catch down the leg side. Stoinis' base hand was off the bat when in touch with the ball, with TV umpire Richard Kettleborough proposing it was in touch with the lead hand, which didn't appear to be the situation. From the front visible, Kagiso Rabada was the bowler to benefit from both, wrapping up with noteworthy figures of 3 for 33. Nonetheless, it will be undeniably more useful for Australia to evaluate their own missteps, missing an eye-watering 7 possibilities in the primary portion of this counter. Temba Bavuma was on the right finish of 3 of them. A top edge on 15 got Adam Zampa lacking at profound third, before an edge off the leg spinner was missed with the Proteas captain on 19. He was then fortunate to proceed with his innings on 31 when a transfer get on the mid-wicket limit couldn't be finished after substitute defender Sean Abbott's overarm throw, once again into play, went over the head of Mitchell Starc. The core of de Kock's attack was the lucidity of each and every shot out of frustration, the early swing and crease, accessible to Starc and Josh Hazlewood individually, fit a tranquil beginning. The initial hitter before long increased the volume with a flick for 6 over square leg off the preview, trailed by a support of 4s directed then, determined square off the last option, across the 5th and 6th over. His consistent advancement permitted Bavuma to go at his own speed, contributing with 17 from the 53 oversaw in the power play, then 35 in the general opening stand of 108, preceding tumbling to Maxwell to a catch at profound mid-wicket. However, Maxwell had the option to follow that up with a lady against de Kock in the 22nd over. The left-hander set things straight in the 23rd with a support of 6s over in reverse square leg off Hazlewood. Starc was struck for a 6 by Jansen, who then, at that point, slanted over third up in the ring for 4. The left armer then dropped mill operator on 10, having apparently gotten an extreme opportunity at in reverse square leg just for the ball to jump out as he knocked to the ground. 2 balls. Stoinis shelled a more straightforward high possibility at cover for Jansen's life. Starc would finish things off determinedly, Warner getting Jansen, mill operator yorked, in a last over which would procure only 1 run through a leg by Australia thought. Back in dispute with the harm from the last 7 overs restricted to only 48 runs. Sadly, South Africa's quicks had been taking notes. What's more, in among the development with the 2 brand new Kookaburras were varieties that represented Australia's openers Mitchell Swamp and David Warner in 7 conveyances up to the furthest limit of the 7th over. Swamp skied to Bavuma at mid-off after Jansen got a conveyance to stop in the pitch before Warner slapped a comparable ball directly to cover in the second of Lungi. Ngidis to ladies in the initial 4 overs of his 50th ODI. Then, at that point, came Smith's antagonistic L-double request, having struck 2 fresh 4s off Rabeda, who didn't leave anything disputable while settling Inglis to take out the right-handers off stump, while Maxwell's driving edge Gavakashev Maharaj a straightforward return get. A resistant stand of 69, the second most elevated of the match, was assembled by Marnus Labuschagne and Stark after Stoinis fell. The point was exclusively near protection, ripping it back what pride they could be. 4 additional skip from Jansen and a chip to cover off Maharaj saw another 2 Exkis. Cummins and Zampa hurled for 30 to more between them, before Tabré Shamsi playing rather than Gerald Coetzee took 2 of every 3, Cummins and Hazelwood skying into the offside to have something to show for his day. The snapshot of triumph showed up with 9-1 overs to go. However, the match was done quite a while previously. Please subscribe my channel.